Yeah, you know who it is. You know who it is. If you don't, it's your boy Shake. So what up, 2K fans? I'm back. It's your boy Shake. Happy holidays, happy new year to everybody. As you guys know, I have 4 different characters. I have a inside scoring point guard, 6'4" point guard, outside scoring 6'4" point guard. I also have a balanced 6'5" shooting guard. You guys saw me using him earlier this season for my career mode. In fact, that's where all of my storylines came from. And then I also have a 6'6" shooting guard on Xbox One. Like, I haven't really put a whole lot of time into him just yet, and I will be real soon. I'll be working with him and on Xbox. Only problem is I just haven't really had time. On Xbox, I have so many really awesome one-player games, and so when I get on Xbox, I get so excited to play those games, and I don't get enough time to play these. So diving back into this, let's discuss my point guard. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of my attributes, some of the things that I've done. So these are my attributes so far. I remember somebody saying in a tweet, they were like, where's your, how come you only have 32 badges? I would think you would have all the badges by now. Well, it's because I have 4 characters, and I think I deleted 1 character too. I think I created a small forward when the game first came out. So yeah, I have 4 characters. I've been switching between all of them, splitting my time up, and it has been a lot of work, but it has given me enough time to kind of discover a few things, and we'll discuss some of those with you today. But this is my main character I'm using right now for my career mode, my outside scoring point guard. He's 6'4". I've got 32 badges with him, and he's an overall 92, as you can see. I'm gonna run through my badges real fast. And keep in mind, some of these badges I haven't discussed in a video, but I will be discussing some of these badges real soon and some more badge hunter videos. I'm going to be discussing why you need some of these badges and how to effectively take advantage of these badges as well. And these are your mental badges. Now we're going to take a quick look at my animations. I've settled so far with the Kyrie Irving release because it goes in on Hall of Fame, it goes in on the park, and it goes in on the Pro-Am. And that's what you want. You want a shot that works for you in all 3 locations. Hall of Fame difficulty, you want it to go in, you want your shot to fall when you're on the park, and you want it to fall when you're in the Pro-Am. My release timing is quick. It's always been quick since last year. I use Kobe Bryant's free throw release, and keep in mind, this release, I get green releases on Hall of Fame. I get them, green releases in the Pro-Am. To me, this is the best release for me. It just works for me. I'm gonna share with you guys my dunk packages real fast. I changed these a lot because they don't let you get them all anymore, so you gotta kind of mix things up. Let you go through these real fast so you can see all the different dunks that I use. And if you notice one thing, most of the dunks that I use, my man takes off on one leg. He takes off really quickly, doesn't really require a lot of time, and I don't get blocked a whole lot when I go for my dunks, unless of course it's a big center waiting for me in the paint. Side clutches off too. And I use these in particular because these are hard to block. You definitely want to, if you want a dunk package that gets you a lot of dunks without getting blocked, just use these. And there's times where I'll just turn off all my dunks and just use like 2 dunk packages just so I don't get blocked. Clutch reverses, these are also pretty difficult to block, especially when your defender is at a bad angle. I just love reverses now. I tend to get these a lot because I find myself going baseline a lot, especially on the park. And when you're a small player and you get blocked easily, going right down the middle is not always as wise. So if you can get the ball somewhere in the corner, pump fake and get to the rack going baseline, it makes it difficult for the big guys to block you. I've always loved the windmill animations in 2K. And because I'm an outside scorer, I don't think I can unlock the athletic 360s, which is a first for me, but it's no big deal. I don't mind having the basics. They have some pretty cool ones in here. When I get out onto the park will have the remaining animations that I really care about. And the last but not least, if you really want to get the most out of your dunk package or a specific dunk package, just turn off your dunk packages and keep 1 or 2. And you'll find your character doing the same kind of dunks, or he'll do more of the dunks in that package that you normally wouldn't see. So if you really want to see the majority of the dunks, because they're not showing you all the dunks in these little animations here. They're not showing you everything. They're just giving you a quick little rundown. but there's usually about 5 or 6, maybe 7 or 8 dunks in each package. Some of them are posterizers. As you know, I use the Jamal Crawford layup, and this is because I've somewhat mastered it, and I feel like I can almost pull it off whenever I want to. Not always, but just about 90% of the time I can make this animation take off, and it's really, really effective. It's really hard for centers to block me, and I like to use this when I'm going up against a big, as opposed to when I'm going up against somebody small who might have trouble blocking me. When I'm going up against bigs, I use this animation. All I do is tap square, move the left stick to the left or to the right, depending on which side he's on and which hand that I have the ball in while I'm dribbling. I just think it looks cool, and I don't know too many people that use this one, so I use it all the time. Usually when I line up with my friends at the Pro-Am games, they always see me do this in there. I'm like the only one using it. Now for my signature styles, I know you guys really want to see this. I got Steph Curry's contested shot. This helps out a lot when you're trying to get the Deadeye badge. You want to use Steph Curry's because his just kind of fades off of a guy, and it's real easy to shoot like that. Plus, you want to use people that's pretty successful doing this in real life. So when you're going for the Deadeye badge, try using the Steph Curry contested shot. This is Dirk Nowitzki's, and he doesn't really get that much distance on the defender, if you notice. See, he just kind of tries to shoot over him. Dribble pull-up, I change this every now and then. I don't change it too often, but it just depends on how I'm feeling. Usually this is the one I use, Elite 14. Spin jumper 12, because he gets a large fadeaway. And this is pretty good in mid-range area, especially if your guy is a really good shooter. And if you have fade ace, you do this with fade ace, you're gonna make a lot of shots. This one I change all the time. I just keep switching it every day. So maybe today I'll just try Trey Burke. Number 14 is the one I used to use. And if you master tapping that square button while you're running side to side or running towards the basket, you're gonna get a lot of distance. But the great thing about this is that you can always pick up your dribble right after doing it. But the problem with number 14 is that it looks real unrealistic, the way he kind of continues his dribble after this huge leap. It definitely looks like a travel. And so I just didn't want to look like I was cheesing if I was doing it. A lot of people I play against, I don't want them to get that impression about me, because I'm just not a cheeser. I try to avoid cheesing tactics. So this one is really good if you're going to take the shot. If you're not taking the shot and you're continuing your dribble, it kind of looks crazy. My post fade is Michael Jordan. And I don't do a whole lot of post fading anyway, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna use Michael Jordan's move. Jump hook number 10, post hop shot, shimmy shot number 2, protect the jumper number 3. My dribble posture is low. I do know some guys that dribble with a default dribble posture or upright. It is actually very deceiving when you dribble this high and you do deadly crossovers. It actually looks really cool too. When you dribble low, it's kind of expected from a point guard, so you're going to see me mixing it up this summer during the spring when I'm out on the park going for legend. I'm going to be going to default, to upright, kind of mixing it up a little bit just to see, how to, see which one looks better over time with the animations that I use. I use ISO crossover number 2 mainly because if you guys watch how I play, I like to kind of size up my defender at half court, so to speak. I kind of stop, somewhere around 35, 40 feet out, and I dribble a little bit to kind of get them going, and then I run at them, and I try to use one of my special moves to get past them. I've been doing that since 2K14, 2K15. I really kind of mastered doing that. And in 2K16, I haven't been as successful with it, but, I set people up really early, so crossover number 2 allows me to dribble pretty quick. And I can show you guys some examples of those kind of animations in this video. If you look at the bottom left, you're gonna see some animation examples of me dribbling really quickly. And this is all with crossover number 2. So I recommend it if you want to dribble quickly. It doesn't have the best overall crossovers. They do have some other ones. And you don't get the sham god. I use number 18. Last year, I stuck with number 18 almost all year long to use the sham god animation. This year, you have to hold right trigger and flip the right stick up or towards your defender to do it. It works out good. Number 19 has a slingshot crossover. Here's the sham god you can do with it. But that crossover is a slingshot. Once you activate the standard crossover with number 19, which is also one of my favorite crossovers this year, it'll throw you forward. It literally throws you forward, and whoever's guarding you, he's gonna be left behind most of the time. And the trouble with it is, though, with me, is that since my guy's an outside scorer, it doesn't really help me when I go to the rim every time with this move. But if you're somebody who can slam and you're an inside scorer, use crossover number 19. You can go to the rim almost every time with a basic crossover, And if you could dunk on people, man, you're gonna lift off every time with a basic crossover. So give this a try if you're somebody who likes to score on the inside. Currently, I'm using behind the back number 7. It's just because I like the way the animation looks when I break people's ankles with it. You know, you can use number 14 to get past somebody a lot faster. This is the one I was using in 2K14 before anybody was really making it popular. And everybody was asking me, what behind the back do you use? This is the one I was using. And then it became super cheese in NBA 2K15 because there was no way to interrupt it. At least this year you can interrupt it. In 2K14 you can make them lose the dribble. But in 2K15 you use this animation, you can pretty much run right past somebody. This year it's not as deadly, but I still like it. I mean, it still is very effective. And I still think it's one of the best behind the back moves in the game. Right now I'm using ISO spin number 7. It's because I use it in combination with the in and out crossover, and also I'm trying to bring back my spin crossover move. A lot of people used to like me doing this move. It's kind of like the Allen Iverson cross is what I call it. It's still not as effective as it was in 2K14 and in 2K13, but I still think that it's a really excellent move to do, really just to show out. And most people, they're afraid that they're gonna get their ankles broken all the time, so they stay off you. So if you use this move, you can use that in combination with a fadeaway or a jump shot, and usually you'll have a wide open jumper. Nowadays, going to the rim with it is not as successful. This is ISO hesitation number 3, what I've been using as well. It gives you that little bit of space where you can do that little hesitation and step back behind the 3-point line. As a shooter, I want this option. I don't necessarily need it. My favorite hesitation is number 4, to be honest, because I prefer the way you could do the super fast crossover after you do that hesitation. You can do it so quickly, and usually it's a really deadly crossover. Unfortunately, this year you cannot break ankles with it. You can break ankles with the hesitation, which is really, really silly to me this year. I don't like that addition to this year's game, how you could do hesitation number 3 at the 3-point line and get somebody stumbling. I think it's retarded, and it's the result of so many ankle breakers. And I've seen them in the top 10 plays. I've seen hundreds of these. People just stepping back and breaking ankles. It does not impress me. This is a move that's been in the game for probably 3 years, and it's never been that effective, and now it's so effective. It's never been effective in terms of breaking ankles. Now, it used to be a way to step back behind the 3-point line to get an open shot, but now it's breaking ankles, and I think it's ridiculous. So I mix these size ups up a lot. This is my signature size up. I use size up number 7. This is what I've used in my career mode. I can combo this with a lot of different strategies. Keep in mind, I change this one all the time though. Now, a lot of you guys were asking me how you do that fast crossover. This is the Jeff Teague. You can begin the crossover animation or the snatchback animation and interrupt it right as his right hand catches the ball right there. And once you catch it, you can do a super fast crossover and take off. And usually my defenders have trouble dealing with this move, and it really works great against guys that are bigger than me. If I let the animation play itself all the way out, it can actually break ankles by itself. So this is a pretty good move. I like it. I tend to switch this up every now and then too, but this is somewhat of my favorite move in the game in terms of the inside out ISO size ups. And then I use ISO cross number 2, guard 2. I told you guys this in my very first face cam video, that this is like one of my favorite moves in the game. It breaks ankles by itself. It also frees you up for a jumper, but you can obviously interrupt this move and go right to the rim. In the size up cross, there's a lot of animations that are really effective this year, and me personally, I just try to make up my own stuff because I see a lot of people using the same moves, and I don't want to get too redundant, especially since I have a channel. Most people that don't have a channel, they're just on the park, they'll just do whatever just to win, whereas I have a channel and I feel like I don't want to bore you guys with the same moves that everybody else is doing on the park. So in a way, I feel like I get it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I have to do things that are different from other people to separate myself, but at the same time I have to kind of make sure it's still effective, because other people's moves are way more effective than my moves, but at the same time I have to play at a certain level myself to make moves that are not necessarily as effective still seem as effective. You know, a good example of that would be the Jamal Crawford. Everybody uses the Jamal Crawford. They spam this until they get you, and unfortunately it's just gonna happen. It's happened to me. You could spam the Jamal Crawford, spam the snatchback dribbles, if you keep on spamming those, you're eventually gonna drop your defender. It's just the way it works in this year's game. If you go behind your back a bunch of times, if your guy has maxed out dribbles, it's going to happen to you. There's almost no way to avoid it, and it's not because you're playing bad defense. I have another video discussing that real soon, where I've been kind of, for the last 2 weeks before the Christmas and New Year holiday, I've been experimenting with the defensive assists on dribbling, and I'm going to discuss that real soon and try to help you guys avoid getting your ankles broken a little bit. Right now, my ISO escape is Kyrie Irving. I use a whole bunch of them. I use this one. I also like using Jeff Teague. This one will also get some ankles. And also the J.R. Smith. This one gets ankles all the time. And most people don't expect it because it doesn't really look like he's doing much, but he is snatching his dribble back behind his back. And it frees me up for a wide open three too every time it happens. So this is a really effective behind the back move. In fact, I'm probably going to switch to this one for right now. This is one of my favorite ones as of late. And you can do a deadly crossover with it after you catch the ball in your left hand, and you can take off. So it's pretty effective. Just give it a try, especially you guys that made really small point guards. This one will really snatch some ankles and give you some space. So that concludes my attribute update. I just want you guys to know what I'm using and some of the animations that I'm using right now. I'm going to give you guys some animations that you can look at and see that some of the advantages to some of the animations that I'm using right here in the screen, so you can see how they actually look and what are the results. Obviously, you want to see them on the court, on the park. You'll see those videos coming up real soon. And if you guys have any more questions, just let me know. If you guys have some things you suggest me to try, some jump shot releases or some dribbles you want me to give a try, just say so in the comment section or hit me up over Twitter. I like to experiment all the time. In fact, I do the majority of my experimentations on the park, especially with the defense that they give you this year. So it's your boy Shake. If you guys enjoyed this video, found it entertaining or informal, smack that like tab to show your support. Definitely subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll be back. And this year, I'm going hard on the park, man. I gotta go all the way to Legend and beyond. So expect to see a whole lot of park videos for you guys.